everybody. Hey, it's Crazy Friday. This is Phil from Walmart. Right Lane Truckin coming at you Friday nights. Hey, this is just crazy, isn't it? What's this guy doing? You're right. Alright, is that better? Alright. I have to say it's Crazy Friday. And people drive crazy. So I'm going to kick to a video of my morning drive from Red Bluff to Folsom. And then I'll be right back. Alright, watch this video. Alright, what'd you think of that? That was my morning drive this morning from Red Bluff to Folsom. Now, it wasn't all like that. You know, it was... I got some more of it up here playing, but it wasn't all like that. I'm driving in. It was a nice day from Red Bluff up until just before Dunnigan, I want to think. I forget where it came on. And at points, it was thick. Real thick. Like the video that's playing above me right now. So, when I say people are driving crazy, okay? Foggy conditions is not the time to tailgate somebody. Foggy conditions is not the time to keep speeding and going really fast. It's time to slow down. And for those of you guys watching this elsewhere that aren't familiar with the Central Valley, we get fog. Go figure. You know, growing up, when I grew up by the beach, we had our foggy mornings, and then they would call it the marine layer, and the marine layer is going to burn off by noon or by 1 or whatever, and it will go away. And when I came to the Central Valley, let me rewind that. I've driven through the Central Valley on the way to Oregon a few times, and it was foggy as all get out. I was young. I was 24. I had no clue. I had no idea what it was. Just fog, and drove in it. Now, even younger than that, I was in foggy conditions right by LAX one time. and I was off work already. I was going to go meet up with some other buddies, and they were getting ready to get off work, and it's late at night, like a little after midnight, and I had this little Honda CRX, and it was foggy like this. Oh, just crazy fog. And I was taking a curve, and I talked about taking curves yesterday, but I was taking this curve, and I went for a 360 on this curve. Luckily, I didn't hit the curb. I didn't flip the vehicle or anything else like that. But I was all of like, then I was only like 19 and still young and learning how to drive still, really. And I don't think anybody really warned me about fog and what the dangers are of fog until I had that wake-up call that night, and I realized what can happen in fog. And so, a couple of things, right? You got to slow down, because your visibility, your vision is hampered by all that fog. And as vehicles continue through the fog, you're not going to be able to see their tail lights on, much less if they even have their lights on. So you're not going to be able to see their vehicle, and then by the time they're seeing something happen and they're slamming on their brakes, and the brake lights start to come through the fog just enough where you can see it, you're not going to be able to stop in time. Why? Because what is fog? How does it come up? How do we have fog? It's moisture in the air, right? Well, where does that moisture collect as well? On the ground, right? On the ground. Ooh, that would look like Halloween, getting ready for Halloween. Ooh, look at that. I can control the lights. I'm just putting my arm on the steering wheel, and the light from up above is reflecting off of my arm onto my face. Isn't that cool? So the ground gets wet. And if you're not slowing down and you're not increasing your following distances, you're going to end up in the rear end of somebody. And it's so surprising that people, even big rigs, will tailgate other vehicles through the fog, will continue to speed through the fog. This is a time where you need to have your headlights on. Avoid using your high beams, because your high beams are just going to reflect the light. The fog is going to reflect the light back at you. So having fog lights on a vehicle helps keep the light down low. Wipers, again, we talk about wipers, keeping your wipers on. Defrost, because at times I had to put the defrost on because it was changing the inside here. And this is when you got to stay alert. No texting, no phone calls, no distractions. There's times I couldn't even see the traffic come in the opposite direction. So now imagine that you're on a 2-lane road, 1 lane in each direction. There's another Walmart driver out of Porterville, John. Check out his channel. I'll leave a link in my description down below. And he was, last week I think it was, driving, and it was foggy like that, probably even worse, because they're like nothing but farmland right there, near Porterville. And he had people trying to pass him, and did pass him, but at the same time you got another vehicle coming the opposite direction, and he had to make a split decision to slow down, and even more than what he was already going. He was already going slow, or slower than he normally does, well under the speed limit for sure. But this is not a time to act stupid and act crazy on the road. People just don't realize that fog is not just hampering their vision, it's hampering their traction as well. And then they try to add speed and not increase following distances. It's a recipe for disaster. And believe me, it's happened. It's happened quite a bit. So please, if you get in fog, slow it down, guys. No need to get right on each other's rear end. It's not going to help you. Oh, I can see him now. No, you don't want to see him, because you can't tell whether he can see what's in front of him or her. And it's oof. Yeah, that's going to be bad. So you got to be very, very careful, especially if you're on a 2-lane divided highway or 2-lane road with just a yellow line dividing the 2 lanes in opposite directions. That's the worst time, because you're gonna have a guy in the opposite direction trying to pass somebody that's going slow, coming at you, coming directly at you. Instead of passing you, they're coming head on towards you. Especially if they're not paying attention to the road, they might think that they're on the right side of the road. You think that might happen? That they get confused and now they're on your lane and heading directly towards you, thinking that you're in the wrong lane? Ooh, that could be a bad situation. Very, very bad situation. So you really got to be careful in those foggy days like that. Now, it burnt off, and eventually when I got to Sac, because we were away from the farmlands, and in the city you don't have it as much, so it cleared out. Now, I had to understand this whole concept, because I didn't know, like, the farmlands created this fog environment, and because of the heat and the moisture coming out of the ground, especially after the torrential rains we had the weekend before, they're saturated with water, and it'll just come right up out of the ground. And I thought you needed like a body of water. When I was young, I thought you needed a body of water such as an ocean to create the fog. Nope. The moisture in the ground that can create the fog. That's why, like, if you see like a baseball field or a football field, they can have the tendency to collect the moisture, and then in those early mornings when the sun's coming up and everything else, it just starts to let the moisture out and create the fog. So yeah, you got to be very, very careful. I'm not a scientist, so I'm sure if anybody has a better description of what I just said, please leave a comment. I'm not a professional on that, but wow, you guys got to be careful. All right, so my day. Again, I'm pumped up, aren't I? Man, I'm pumped up. All right, my day, it was all right. I mean, it really wasn't. It is what it is. It is what it is. I used to get on my guys at work in San Diego. There was this guy, Fabian, and he would go, "Phil, it is what it is." And I'm saying, no, it's not what it is. This is what it is. And this is what you're supposed to do. And just getting on him, because I was the manager. He was one of my crew chiefs or my leads. And it is what it is. No. Well, I've been saying it a lot, so I got to knock that off. So my day, I started in Red Bluff. I woke up to my dispatch. My dispatch has me going and taking a GM load from Red Bluff to the store in Folsom. Now, I've been to the store in Folsom numerous amounts of times, numerous. And, well, I won't like say I've been there like 20 times, no. Half a dozen? For me, that's a lot. I mean, they, like I said in my other video, they've been sending me to over 100 something different stores and DCs and stuff like that. So 6 times at one store is numerous for me, because I keep going to different places. But so I got there. I know my way. It was pretty easy, straightforward. Take I-5, get into Sacramento, transition to the Business 50 going east, or Highway 50 going east, and then just get off at Folsom and take it down to Glen and head up Glen, and you're there at the store. Pull in the back. This is one of those stores that you have to blindside back in because of the way they've got this wall set up. And had that wall not been so far, we might be able to where we don't have to blindside. But man, the wall goes in pretty deep, or come out pretty far. So you got to come in tight. And then, so when I'm coming in, there's already one trailer there, and it's with a carrier, and he's sitting there waiting. And so I got out. I'm not gonna wait. I gotta go. I got things to do. I got places to go, people to see, loads to pick up. So I get out and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I got grocery remix. I gotta wait for this guy to get out the dock. Okay, because he had Crystal already there before him. And really, there's only one. There's one or two. There's a total of 4 docks at this store. And I've always used the one that Crystal was in as well when I've done grocery, because that's the one that's normally open. And the other one, I don't know if all 3 of them are grocery or not. Anyway, so then there was a GM dock open for me. So I'm like, okay, well, I need to get in and drop my GM load, get my empty, and get out of here. So there's this other guy in there. It's not even a Walmart. He's not even delivering anything. I think it was more of a trash recycle truck or something. And so I go up to him. I said, hey, are you about to get going? Yeah, right now. Cool, thank you. Because I'm going to have him pull in your spot or right around there so I can get in and I can back into my dock. Alright, so I got the carrier to move forward, got that guy out of there, moved the carrier forward, so now I can get in and back. Got my trailer, went in, checked in, found out which one was empty, because there was one that was like 3 feet off the dock. That was the one closest to the wall, and it had a seal on it. I thought, oh, that's weird, it has a seal on it. And why is it off the dock? I was gonna offer to back it up to the dock, and then I talked to the associates inside. She said it was a claims trailer, and I said, well, if it's a claims trailer, I'm not touching it. I'm not here to do that. Is that other one empty? Yeah, that other one's empty. All right, well, I'll back that one up and then get my empty, and I'll get out of here. All right, so I got my empty, and my next thing on my dispatch was to go to Quaker Beverage. Quaker Beverage, that is down in Tracy. Now, I don't like, how do I say this nicely? I don't like to wait. I don't like to waste time. And I'm not trying to be prima donna because we're Walmart. But, you know, we got a lot of trucks going in and out of Quaker Beverage. They have 3 lines. One says preload. One says unload and the other one says fast track. I don't know what line you're supposed to be in. I would like to think we're fast track, right? Walmart, fast track. Fast track us in and out of there. So I pulled it in the fast track line. It does. I don't think it matters. It's just 3 lanes, and they have a light system above those 3 or in front of those 3 lanes, and it's got a X, red X, or a green arrow. And the person in the booth controls who's going to come in from what lane next. And they just pick, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how they're tracking who got there first, who got there second. Because we all go into different lanes, and then voila. Anyway, some of these guys don't know what they're doing. They get there, and I kid you not, they're not prepared. They don't have their number. They're walking around like, they're wearing flip-flops. I mean, it's just, that's why I'm glad I chose Walmart. And some people don't like the uniform policy, the professionalism policy. I call it the professionalism policy, because when you wear a uniform, I think you tend to represent the company a little bit better, and we display a certain aura of professionalism, and that we're ready and prepared and everything else. So in our system has my pickup number. Most vendors, they want to know what trailer you're bringing, what empty trailer, what loaded trailer, whatever you're bringing to them, right? So you got to have that too. So you shouldn't walk up to the guard shack without your pickup number and your trailer number and your vehicle number. I mean, these are things that they're going to ask you. So I don't understand why people will walk up to the window and not be prepared. Like the guy in front of me just seemed to be not prepared. They pulled us both up. He got there in lane first, and then I pulled in behind him in the lane. And then we both went up to the window. And so he's at the window, and it just seemed like it was just taking way longer than it took me. I'm like, here's my pickup number. He's like, what trailer number you got? Blah, 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 blah. Tractor number, blah, 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 blah. And he filled out this little slip of paper and told me to go drop my trailer in yard 21 and pick up at yard 75. Those are the spot numbers. It took me a minute, 2 minutes to sign the paper, give him my numbers, and I was in my tractor pulling out, or pulling in. I just don't understand it. But it took a long time because we had all these other trucks doing what I just described. Not being prepared, just taking forever. It just irks you. Alright. So I go over to yard 21. Basically, you have to circle the entire building at Quaker Beverage. PepsiCo is another name on the building. Get all the way around to the yard in the back. Yeah, you got to go around the entire building to get to this little yard. And boy, did they stack these trailers in that yard. They get them in there tight too. Anyway, so I'm looking and I'm like, yard 21 looks occupado. So I parked and I got out and I walked all, it's not very big, and there's no spots, none. There's no spots back there to park in whatsoever. And now I could creative park it, whatever, or I can do what I was going to do, or I was thinking of doing, park my empty, pull my loaded trailer out. Dude, slow down, man. Woo! Coming in hot. Woo, he just came in hot right next to me. Wow. Anyway, so pull my loaded trailer out and then put my empty in my spot. Oh, golly, I'm going to have to do some extra work here. but it is what it is. Anyway, so when I came in, I noticed a yard jockey, yard goat, shifter, in the front of it, just sitting chilling. So I pull around with my empty and I go up to him and I'm like, hey, are you on break or can you help me out? He goes, what? I'm like, I explained myself and I'm like, hey, I'm supposed to put this trailer in 21. 21's got a trailer. If you could do me a solid, can you pull my loaded trailer out of spot 75 so I can then just back this empty right in there and we're done, and then I can couple to the loaded trailer. You gonna tell them? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna tell them. No. So I thought he meant, am I gonna tell them he's doing some extra work? And I was like, no, man, I'm not gonna tell on you. You're doing me a solid, so just go. No, you're gonna tell them, you're gonna communicate them that you're putting that trailer in the. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I was gonna tell them that I had to swap it because there's no space back here. And he's like, all right. So he went over with the goat and pulled out my loaded trailer. I backed my empty in, and I'm coupling and getting ready to do my pre-trip. I'm actually adjusting my tandems on the loaded trailer, and here comes in Old Dominion, and he's like, I was supposed to park this trailer in 75 where you just parked the trailer. I'm like, hey dude, I'm sorry man, you're gonna have to find a different spot because I was supposed to park that trailer in 21. Oh, I go, I suggest you get your empty and take it, wherever you're supposed to pull your load, put your empty in that spot. Oh, okay. So he did what he had to do, and I had to do what I had to do. Now, I wrote it all down. I wrote down the JB Hunt trailer it was a container that was in yard spot 21. I wrote down my trailer number again on that slip of paper and indicated that I put that in yard space 2075. And during the checkout process to get my bill of lading, I gave the young lady at the booth that slip of paper back, because that's what you do. You give that slip of paper back after you get your load. And she was impressed. She was shocked. She was taken back by the fact that a Walmart driver dressed professionally did something professional. And that was to tell them and communicate to them that I didn't put it where they told me to put it. This is where I ended up putting it. This is the trailer in that spot that you told me to put it in, so that they can change it in their system. Now that comes from me being a dispatcher. That also comes from me doing yard walks and having to change and go out there and do it because drivers wouldn't tell us where they put trailers. So, yeah. I take it personal and professional, and anyway, I just do the right thing, guys. If you can't put it in the spot they asked you to put it in, let them know where you put it. That way they know. And if you want to take it one more step further, jot down the trailer number or whatever is in that spot that they told you to put it in. That way they can change that as well in the system. Just saying, it'll help you out in the future when the yards are actually the way they're supposed to be. Alright. So I get that load. That's a Quaker beverage load. Not quite a Niagara water load. It's up there though. It's pretty heavy. It's mostly Gatorades and stuff like that. So it might as well be a water load. And take that all the way to McCarran. Now, mind you, there was about 4 of us in there all getting these loads. And we're all there at the same time, pretty much. One guy pulled out first. He's a McCarran driver. Next guy was in next to me. he was pulling out, then another guy. So there's like 4 of us that just pulled a load out of there. Get all the way. I had to take a meal on the way to Quaker Beverage and a meal on the way out of Quaker Beverage. So I stopped in Rockland to take my second meal, and I made it to Lodi for my first meal. Anyway, so as I'm passing Elk Grove, Lodi Elk Grove area, I get my dispatch for my next load. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to make my ETD. I'm not even close to my ETD at this point. And I'm like, well, it's not due till tomorrow. So hopefully I can just get in, get out of there, and get as far as I can. I was running short on time. And drive time, 14-hour time, everything, mainly because I sat at Quaker Beverage longer than I should have. And normally when I sit like that, I usually take my meal, and I didn't have time to do that. I had to take it before I got to Quaker. So yeah. Anyway, so I got to McCarran really hecka late. Later than I wanted to. I put an ETD in for 1900. And I didn't get to McCarran until... Hold on. I'm looking. Alright, I got to McCarran at 20:20. 8:20. So an hour and 20 minutes after my ETD. And part of that was because of the longer wait at Quaker Beverage. And then traffic. Friday traffic. Early too, man. It was just out. Gosh. People aren't working full days anymore, especially on Friday. So I got to McCarran 8:20, and I driving on duty, driving. All right. So 8:20. I got to McCarran. I was at the front gate at McCarran at 8:20. 8:51, I'm at that same gate checking out. Actually, I'm rolling now at that point. I am rolling. I am out the gate. I've already checked out, and the wheels started getting up past 5 miles an hour. So it's, what was that, 31 minutes? 31 minutes. In, out, bang, boom, gone. I did not waste any time, because I didn't want to be there. I wanted to get my load and get going. So parked my load, went and got my paperwork, went and got my trailer, went to the fuel island, fueled the reefer, fueled the tractor, and got out in 31 minutes. People ask me how I'm, how do you get so many miles in a day? How do you, because I don't like to sit. Like that Quaker Beverage pissed me off. I could have got to Nyack tonight had Quaker Beverage not taken so long. But as it is, I got to Boomtown, which, hey, I'm all right with that, right? It's about 30-something miles from McCarran, western McCarran, and it's kind of like state line going into Vegas, the Prim Valley resorts there. This is the casino before the casinos, coming from California. And they have ample truck parking. I didn't realize how much truck parking that they have here. They have a lot. And I found a spot. There was 2 Walmart trailers. One is a carrier. The one in front is being towed by a carrier. Then a Walmart guy with a dry van. And I'm pulling a reefer, so it's like way off to the side. I'm like, I don't want to park right next to somebody. Being the courteous driver, I want to park somewhere else. And so I just lined up with these guys on the side so that my reefer is not keeping somebody up all night. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that I could see right now, Walmart trailers in here, and 4 of those are Walmart drivers. And there's, you know, about 25, 30, 25 or so tractor trailers total. And there's still plenty of room. Let's go figure that out. It's Friday night. Well, I guess that makes sense. People are going home. People are maybe at the truck stops doing their reset. I don't know. So I have 3 stores in here, and I'll follow up tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, and weekend mileage tomorrow. But I ended my day with 504 miles for today. Yesterday, I don't know if I said, I got 441, and the day before that, 477. So a little less than I wanted to on the other 2 days. As you know me, I like to be above 500. Maybe I can get a good 500 plus day tomorrow and bring my totals up to an average of 500 a day. But I need, what, 23 plus another 49, 59, sorry, 80 something. So I'd have to have a really good 500 plus day to make up for it. But, you know, never know. I got a long run tomorrow, so we'll see. All right, guys. This is Phil from Walmart Right Lane Trucking. If you're interested, if you're still watching, driver number 40346, 40346. Come on aboard Walmart. I'm telling you, you're never sitting very long. I mean, I get detention time while I'm sitting there waiting, so I'm getting paid sitting in line. It's not very much, but it's something. It's something to sit there if people don't get detention time, right? So anyway, come on aboard. I know there's some new guys that are coming on board. They're going to go to Red Bluff for orientation, and I want to wish them really good luck. And I'm going to try to find out about Fontana. I want to know more about Fontana because they're hiring for Fontana day cab stuff. And I don't know if we opened a new DC down there or what's the deal. So I'm gonna dig into that one. But anyway, you guys drive safe, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.